After playing Pokemon GO, a lot of changes in my life. Probably one of the most important thing is doing exercise. So maybe I lost like 20 pounds in the beginning. So I just be aware how healthy I can be playing just a game. It's not just a game, but it's like a way you live.
Yeah, that's really interesting. First of all, obviously, it's very impressive that he managed to lose so much weight. But what he just said about it becoming a way of life, that I find very interesting, because that's what people struggle with the most when they're trying to implement changes in their life. So a game that's fun can actually facilitate changes, like going outside every day and moving.
I think this is a great testimony of the benefits of Pokemon GO and location-based AR games alike. First, it helps people to be more physically active, and that will help them reduce the pain or anxiety they have. Second, they would use this as an opportunity or chance to moving out of their comfort zones. So they pay more attention to their appearance, they care more about their fitness, and it's always a good thing in humanity.
I personally have like anxiety, so when I just Pokemon GO coming out, helps a lot. This helps me a lot in so many ways. So I'm using until now for doing exercise, because game can help you not thinking in bad stuff and just keeping going. So yeah, this Pokemon GO is great.
Yeah, so what he hinted on with anxiety, that relates to the study on Pokemon GO that I published, because it included a lot of people with diverse mental health issues, and these people in general, on average, agreed that the game actually helped them, and they felt their social functioning has increased and their life satisfaction has increased. And while obviously people with mental health issues have lower ratings on such variables than healthy individuals, the change scores for the people with self-reported formal diagnosis of mental disorders was actually larger. So that's something really, really impressive to achieve for a game, I think.
I believe so much in Pokemon GO and how it can improve people's lives that I actually got my auntie to download the game as well. She has quite severe epilepsy. She has seizures every day. And sometimes she would go out and like be buying a lotto ticket and she would have a seizure. She would come back from that and not know where she is. And it takes her a couple of minutes to kind of, oh, okay, I'm in the shop. Yep, cool, I got this, we're all good. In that process, people who aren't familiar with epilepsy and how it affects the human body, they would stare. And that would make her feel anxious and uncomfortable. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that she was feeling uncomfortable, and it's not something she controls. She was born with this. So I encouraged my auntie to download Pokemon GO. When she would be out, I told her, play it at the shopping centres. You know, you can just have it on in the background while you casually walk around getting your coffee. You'll see Pokemon, you can spin some spinners, get some items, and just, you know, enjoy the game. And if people stare at you when you have one of these smaller seizures, don't worry about it. Have a look at what's happening in your Pokemon. So fast forward a couple of years, she had a really, really major seizure. It put her in hospital for a multitude of days, and she was completely not conscious. We were in discussions with her neurologist, they were monitoring her. She came out of it and she said to the doctor, "Oh, did I catch the Pokemon?" And the doctors, my mum, we all laughed, and the doctors, they got me on the phone and they said, "Cricket, this game is really helping. This game, playing Pokemon GO, is helping your auntie develop more neural pathways and stimulate parts of her brain that were previous to playing this game not stimulated, which is really important for people with epilepsy." So one, it helps her feel more comfortable being outside in public, and it is helping her with her actual brain. Our brains are plastic. We can learn new skills, we can create neural pathways, and through Pokemon GO, that is happening in my very own family.
Yeah, that is a very good example. I really like that one. Pokemon GO seems to have such a diverse player base, which is just fantastic. You have all sorts of people coming together with their own stories in that way. And I personally, I actually have also met senior citizens who use the game to just train their cognitive abilities by learning Pokemon names, for example.
It is no surprise to me how playing Pokemon Go benefits in incorrect conditions. The change in locations can actually stimulate neural growth, especially for the elderly, because most of their lives are within their home and they do not change places, they do not think or move that much. But this game actually provides an opportunity for the players to change their locations, and they can use their body and brain more often, and it will help relieve or reduce the symptoms they have.
I mean, it's gotten me out more. It gives me an excuse to walk. Like, I'd be at home and doing whatever other games and whatnot, but this kind of gives me a reason to get out, which is good, even though I do go out, but you know what I mean. It's a fun thing to do, I guess, when you're walking around.
This response aligns also with the data that I have from the study on Pokemon Go. I did actually ask participants what their hobbies were before they started to play Pokemon Go, or let's say before Pokemon Go was even released. And a lot of these activities actually included being inside and being alone. It wasn't just video games, it was also things like reading, but it's all things that you do sitting and alone. And Pokemon Go kind of encourages you to go outside, to move, and to socialize.
Oftentimes, people do not have a good reason or good opportunity to go out, but basically the entertainment and the socialization purposes of the game drive them to go out, give them good reasons, and be more physically active. And I think that really helps improve mental well-being.
My life has benefited from playing Pokemon Go because it's really kind of expanded the people that I consider in my circle. Especially back home, we met and befriended a lot of people who were, big in the Pokemon Go scene. So that was really cool to kind of connect with people that you otherwise maybe wouldn't.
Yeah, so what you just said about increasing the circle of friends and acquaintances, that's actually something that came up in my study as well. I literally asked people whether they found friends through the game or if they maybe even found their romantic partner through the game. And quite a lot of people did, especially find friends through the game. And some people left also comments where they said that it's kind of impressive how they're meeting people that are so different from themselves that they, without the game, would never normally meet. So I think that's a real strength of the game and showing how diverse it is and how accepting everyone is of this diversity.
You can see this game as a social game and even a platform for socialization. It closely linked to the concept of positive network externality. The larger the user base, the more each user benefit from it. So when a Pokemon Go community is built, one play the game with others, share their happiness, and they can make new friends and improve their social life, or even a business beyond the gameplay. And all these activities actually help people to continue play the game and benefit from the game.
I think we go out because of the game. I think we make an effort to go out more, and then we've been playing the Wednesday wait hour.
Yeah, we do dinner hour pretty regularly.
Pretty religiously, and all the community day event, all the Go Fest event, we try to do all of those. It's very enjoyable. Also an opportunity to go outside because I'm normally not very active.
It's basically influenced our behavior, which I know some people are afraid of, but in our case, we go out to the dinner hours, we see some of the rest of the community, and during the kind of darkest days of COVID, well, except for when they didn't have anything, but when they were having stuff, it was a good way to get outside. And I do think when I think about the video game world, Pokemon Go, at least they're very, as a company, emphasizing physical world interaction, real activity, because I think there is a downside to just being too virtual and kind of forgetting about your real world roots and needs and real people connectivity, and it seems like Pokemon Go does a good job of knitting those together.
I can agree what was hinted on in this video, that the game is designed in a way that it facilitates people going outside and meeting each other, especially with fixed events like Great Hour or Community Day. It does bring people together that normally wouldn't meet. Some people from my study left behind a comment saying explicitly how amazed they are by just meeting diverse people that they would normally not meet and becoming friends with them.
I think the comment is spot on because the behavior changes are the really shining game design elements that explain why the game improves well-being, especially the socialization part and also the physical activity the game encourages.
It's a great way to just get out, walk around, and instead of just being at home all day. So I'm a gamer myself. I've been playing games since like my mom literally popped me out, and it's different to just get off the PC or the system and just get out there and walk around. And we actually saw a bunch of new places we'd never been to before just because of a Pokemon there or a post that we want to spin. So definitely the game seems to motivate for people to go outside and explore. I asked specific questions in my study where I literally just asked one question and said, do you feel like Pokemon Go forces you or like allows you to go outside more than you would do normally? And most people said that that's the case. So their indoor solitude activities were kind of shifted to the outside and the social environment.
I think this is a very exact testimony for the comparison between the console game, which is a traditional video game playing at home, and the location-based AR game, because you can explore the surroundings, you can feel the serendipity in real life, right? And especially for specific population groups, they suffer in social withdrawal. It again gives opportunity for them to get out and to take some adventures, even near their house.
I think one of the most interesting thing about it is that you definitely get to explore different places in the city. I played Pokemon Go in both New York and Columbus, Ohio. And then back when that was happening, it kind of took me to certain landmarks. You could see on like the little maps, like they would tell you where Central Park was, and then you would go to Central Park for the first time and walk around the roads that maybe you haven't gone before. And all of a sudden you see a little character there, and it's like, oh, okay. So definitely even in Seattle too, like we're here, for example, this is like a very well-known park. The Needle is right there, and then I feel like without the app, maybe you would come here, but it gives you like an opportunity to go to specific places in cities and visit the places that you have to visit in the city. So it's a good experience as a tourist to get to know your own city.
Players tend to report that due to the game, they do go outside a bit more. Some people left behind a comment in my survey where they also said the same thing as the girl in the video, that they're pretty much led by the game, and the game kind of tells them where to go. So they end up going to places and areas they've never been before. And so, they really get to know their neighborhood, sometimes even a little bit better.
I would extend the benefits the lady already discussed to talk about why exploring your city could be beneficial to your well-being. The first is that it gives a sense of achievement. So when you're traveling around, give you more things to do, and also give you more talking points when you meet your friends. And also at the aggregate level for a city, it's really a chance to revitalize the local economy. I think Pokemon Go bring a lot of beneficial effects. And all these behavior changes can explain why playing location-based AR game help improve mental well-being.
I actually think the most important part would be to make the present the future. Just find a way to keep Pokemon Go alive and let it keep doing what it's doing. to have people go outside and interact. I think that that's most important for the future, so that these benefits that the study has presented can actually continue to exist.